Okay, let's talk serious comics. Let's talk about March, Book 1 by John Lewis, together with Andrew Aiden and Nate Powell. This is a book by John Lewis. It's biographical, and it's around civil rights movement from the black community in America. So let's dive into this, see some art, and then I'll tell you what I've thought about the book. So, like I said, this revolves around this gentleman here, who is a congressman, and is very known for his past, for his contribution to making America a better country for everyone. So we see him from his I wouldn't say childhood, because it starts when he's already almost a teenager. So the book does some back and forth in time. Is actually telling a story in the present to this lady and her children that wanted to visit his office, and by chance they find him there. He shouldn't be there, but he is, and so he starts talking about his life, and then we're pulled back into the present again. So it does do that sometimes, which keeps an interesting pace to it. And so here is telling about his love for chicken, and how he always refused to eat the little creatures. He gave them names and etc. And along his journey of growing up, he finds the words of pastors, Martin Luther King. He hears him first in the radio, and he starts hearing about this non-violence way of achieving things like Mahatma Gandhi did. And so he starts getting interested in that matter, and it all clicks when his uncle takes him to town, to a big town. He's from a rural place. He's raising chickens, right, and working in the fields. And when he sees the big city and how things can be different, he just can't go back. And so he starts going to school, to middle school, and still his parents want him to work in the field when it's how they say a crop time to pick up the crops. So they want him to skip school, so he just hides away, just not to miss school. He starts getting access in the libraries to books, where he can find the words of other inspiring idols. And he also starts noticing in a much sharper way how different it is, the life of a black person and a white person in America, starting from the bus that he takes to school, or the conditions that he has in his own school to practice sports or to learn or whatever. Everything is worse if your skin is darker. And so he starts getting involved with. He actually ends up meeting with Martin Luther King. He gets in contact with him, and Martin requests him to meet with him. And they start organizing themselves, and they do something that they call the sit-ins. So the black people weren't allowed to eat at the counter. They could go to a coffee or a restaurant, but they couldn't eat at the counter together with the white people. They would have to stay further away, and in the bus they would have to drive in the back. To go in the back. So they start arranging these sit-ins where they just peacefully would sit in the counter and will keep themselves there, either silent or politely answering to the constant refusals by the waiters and owners of those places to give them food and let them eat there. And so the movement starts spreading, and in a few days there's already hundreds of people doing the same thing. Of course they go to jail, but the numbers start speaking loud, and the police is forced to release them because there's so many of them that they just can't arrest everyone, right? Yeah, and so that's it. I don't want to talk much more because I'm already saying too much. But yeah, just to summarize, it's a very, very educational book with a great pacing. I love the illustrations. It's manga style, black and white, but it's one of those books in black and white and gray. Okay, it's not pure black and white. Where you really, really forget that it doesn't have color, because it has so much shade, so much texture. You really don't miss it, and I think the art is really, really good. Love the work they've done here. Even the lettering is very unique, very different. You can see mumblings. Sometimes there's little balloons because there's people talking far away, and so you just see some gibberish instead of actual words. That's quite interesting. I found it amusing. So this is only book 1 of 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 1, 2, 3, and then there's one that collects them all in a slipcase version. So if you're looking for something different to read, out of the box, but very grounded, about a very serious subject which is still very relevant, since last year especially, it has gained with the Black Lives Matter movement. It has gained more traction, more visibility. So America still has a lot to fix. We all have a lot to fix all around the world, because it's not only black people that are segregated or discriminated. There's many other ways of discrimination. Yeah, but this book is really, really, really interesting, and you feel it to be very authentic, because these are the words of a man who lived it, experienced the discrimination, and then actually was present in the actions that tried to disrupt it and desegregate the country. So kudos to John Lewis and the guys that teamed up with him to do this book. I'll be getting the next ones for sure. These are books that really deserve to be at Deviant.fun's stock. So that's it. That's our opinion. March, book 1, John Lewis. You know where you can get it, deviantfun.biz or any other bookstore, but we'd love if you buy with us. Otherwise, you can just like this video, subscribe to the channel to help it grow, follow us on Facebook or Instagram, and yeah, just keep in touch, because we're constantly putting out new stuff. So once again, because I don't know who sees all the videos, a Merry Christmas to you, and a Happy New Year if we don't hear and see until then. So bye.